Warning. This podcast may contain content and language that is not suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back, boys and girls, to the Daily Double Down Network podcast, Tuddies and Buddies. It's your boy Nate, co-host.
Cody right here.
We're going to be talking about some of the Hall of Fame induction players for 2023, and a couple of the guys we think who missed out, and a couple guys who we don't really think deserve to be in this year.
So, how do you want to go about this? This was completely your idea, so...
You just tell me a couple of the guys you think who aren't deserving of being in it, at least this year, and a couple of guys you think who got cheated, I guess we can say.
Okay. Huge Browns fan.
Absolutely.
Love him. Joe Thomas did not deserve to be in it this year.
And I disagree with you already.
Dude, that's his first year of eligibility.
Because Joe Thomas
He didn't miss like over 10,000 snaps, though.
He was the most dominant tackle of that time.
He was.
If you are a dominant player, you deserve to be in it. You deserve to be the first ballot. Because I know there's a lot of guys who haven't had a chance to make it our first ballot, second ballot players. But Joe Thomas is one of the most deserving guys. And I will stand by that.
He is most deserving. But when you still have guys from the 70s that are still barely making it in...
Well, look, this went through a committee of guys. They didn't let them go in. So, this might be also coming from, at least we're younger in doing this, that we have a bias for the more, younger players that we got to watch.
You will see that throughout, my points and my people. There are a lot of younger people. A lot of the actual inductees, I didn't actually know. I knew, 4 of them.
See, I know most of them. I didn't know the head coach that would get inducted. And it was,
apparently he's, the father of the passing game, essentially.
Oh, if you want to watch, there's a really good video about that goes through, the whole passing tree, scheme. Yeah, it's a fucking hour-long, rabbit hole down there. But it's really cool if you actually want to watch it.
Yeah, you gotta fucking send that shit to me, man.
If I find it scrolling through, it's really good. But Joe Thomas, he's very deserving of this. He was an All-Pro multiple years.
10 years in a row.
That's what, 10 out of 11 years? He played 11 or 12 years?
He played 11 seasons, and the only year he didn't make it was his rookie season, which he barely played.
Absolute dominant. He actually was second in the Rookie of the Year voting, only behind Adrian Peterson his rookie year.
And he barely played.
Yeah, so we see there's too much going for him to say he's not a Hall of Famer. And first ballot, some may disagree just because how early he got in, but I believe it's well-deserved. He's a great player, great tackle. Can't wait to watch him get inducted this year.
The induction already happened.
Well, no, the actual ceremony and all that.
Oh, at Canton?
Yeah,
it
happens August 5th this year. I'm going to be there, so let me know if you guys want to watch that firsthand and get to see some of that.
You're definitely going to have to bring us some content from that.
Well,
if you come back with zero content from that, I will literally shut this show down.
Well, hey guys, I need you to support us so I can have a little bit more fun doing it.
Exactly. So go check out our Patreon where we will have extra additional content, including mock drafts and NBA coverage. So please go support us on there. If you sign up for our top tier, you get to pick a topic that we will discuss for an entire episode across any one of our podcasts here at the Daily Double Down Network. So check it out. With that being said, I have a big loser who should have made it in, who I am pissed did not make it in.
Yeah, who's that?
Devin fucking Hester.
Devin Hester is a godly player. And I would almost agree with you, just the only knock on him is he's not a wide receiver, I guess. He didn't dominate as a wide receiver. He was a gadget player of his time, being kick returner, punt returner.
But his first return ever, Tuddy.
Yeah, but
first
he's a kick returner. In at least my recent memory, there has not been a solely really kick returner, punt returner to make it into the Hall of Fame. And he would set almost a new standard that for like a Cordell Patterson or somebody like that who's not really a wide receiver, running back all that much, but is a deadly return man, they have a chance to make it. And I think that might even keep Devin Hester out the Hall of Fame for more years than we expect because he is only a returner. He had really no value at wide receiver at that point.
But he did run the ball pretty well, too. They would line him up back there, and he would get good chunks.
Yeah, but I feel like it's more sustained play at a position than a specialty.
Okay, but at the same time, he played the position of kick returner, punt returner for, 10 years?
Yeah, but...
And I want to pull this up. I want to see how many kick return touchdowns he has.
I want to say 14, 15, something like that. I mean, he leads has the NFL record, I believe, 20. 20. But tell me...
that is insane.
Yeah, but tell me about the other guys who have, from the 70s, who probably have 60 touchdowns. And then they're going to be like, oh, that little guy who all he had to do was return kicks. I'm not defending the
11,000 return yards.
That's a lot, my big man. That's a lot.
11,000 yards off of returns. Now, all I'm going to say is returns are the hardest part of the game to get good chunks of yards.
Yeah. And I'm not denying how elite he was at that. I'm just, it's hard to justify him over other guys.
Okay.
And I guess that's where I would go at.
But for his 255 total receptions,
yeah,
over his career, he still put up 3,300 yards with 16 tutties.
Yeah, that's 1.5 touchdowns per season and 500 yards?
A touchdown and a half per season. So that's 3.5 tutties a season?
1.5 a season. Oh, plus those. Alright, so you might...
3.5 tutties. And 1,000 yards, 500 yards each season. So 1,500 yards total every season.
Alright. You make that a more valid argument on that.
And if you do that, he only had 25 receptions on every season.
Alright, you whittled me down a little bit on that, but...
This is what I looked at, and I realized I was like, damn, Darrelle Revis definitely should be in there.
Yeah.
Absolute dominant defensive player. I think he led the league in interceptions 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, I mean, Revis Island was dominant.
Exactly.
But I understand on the Devin Hester, he'll probably be in the next few years.
Yeah.
Just because, you're going to have that uproar from the younger crowd, essentially.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I can't wait until so... This is a heart at heart with y'all. My dad loved growing up, watching the Cowboys during their dynasty in the 90s. He, to finally be able to, see the players that you grew up watching make it. And this is, that start for us, is that we watched him at the tail end of his career. And we got to start, realizing how special of a player he was.
Yeah, and... a lot of these players, especially Rondé Barber, I loved watching Rondé Barber play, especially growing up. That was when I first started watching football was the tail end of his career, and dude was just a beast. Yeah. And who was his brother?
Tiki Barber.
Yeah,
or
Tiki.
Whatever.
Yeah,
he played a running back for the Giants,
and he was good too.
Yeah, I mean it's great, and I mean. In the coming years, I mean, we're just going to have a lot more players that we know that we are going to love. Daddy Breeze is going to be there in 2 years.
Yeah.
Brady's going to be there in 5 years, no doubt.
Oh, fuck him.
Peyton Manning. Actually, I think Peyton Manning's...
I think Peyton Manning is already eligible. I think he retired 2016 when he won the Super Bowl.
I'm trying to think hard about that, but I'm not sure.
Did he get in last year?
I feel like I would remember that. But, I mean, still the point to be... Just, all those younger players coming in that we get to watch. And then, I mean, you made a great point on Darrelle Revis. Might as well start talking about him. He's an absolute winner, as you said.
Absolute.
I mean,
he went to the Chiefs for his last season in, 2015?
2017, I think.
Or, 2017. That's when they were absolutely dominant up until the playoffs.
Yeah, but I mean, Revis Island, no one wanted to play there. He shut down the best wide receivers in football.
Dude, he shut down Calvin Johnson.
He shut down
a regular basis.
Shut down Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss, Marcus Colston, all those number one threat.
Yeah, and he paired up against Randy Moss many a times.
Exactly.
And especially when you look at, you're going to hate me for saying this, the Mark Sanchez time frame, but that was also when Tom Brady, Julian Edelman, Aaron Hernandez, Rob Gronkowski.
Hernandez? I can't even fucking
say
it.
I mean Gay Boy Hernandez. Have you seen the documentary on Netflix about him?
No, because it doesn't look interesting to me.
Watch it.
Watch it? All right.
Apparently he was, closeted gay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is he in the back sucking dick or something?
Apparently, that's why he killed the dude.
Oh. He could have at least killed Brady. I would have preferred that one.
But they also found a blunt laced with PCP in his car.
He's tripping his fucking balls off at the same time.
Oh yeah, Murder Hernandez. let's just put him in the landfill. Leave his foot sticking out.
Aaron Hernandez in the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame of Murderers.
They should have his own special spot in the Hall of Fame where his bust is surrounded by jail bars.
I would love that, but that would get canceled in a matter of 5 seconds.
Yeah, but that would be fucking hysterical.
Oh, for sure.
That's probably that comment's probably gonna get us canceled, isn't it?
Probably, but it's fine. Y'all will just find us on Patreon at this point.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, Darrelle Revis, he shut down everyone. And like I was saying, during that Mark Sanchez era, he was going up against stars.
Yeah, and imagine if the Jets would have had a quarterback, even not a Mark Sanchez butt fumble type of guy, but I mean an actual quarterback.
Yeah.
Super Bowl winner, probably.
Well, they played the Steelers in the AFC Championship in 2011. The year that the Steelers lost to fucking Green Bay in the Super Bowl.
I mean, just those... It's hard to watch at the same time because, these talented guys should have, been great Super Bowl winners or at least had the chance, but,
So I'm going to take a time out and give a funny story about that.
Go for it.
Packers Steelers. My dad stepdad is a die-hard Steelers fan.
Yeah.
Die-hard. I'm a die-hard Browns fan from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Don't mix well. But after a while, being as young as I was watching the Steelers games every week because that's what he would watch. I couldn't watch the Browns game because it was sacrilegious in his house. So, the only time I got to watch them was when they played the Steelers and they would get shit on. So eventually I became a Steelers fan for a little while. 2 years. And my secondary team is the Packers. It always has been. It's my grandfather's favorite team. Love them.
Yeah.
That's my NFC team. You mean I used to rock that Rodgers jersey all the time.
You did, yeah.
But here's the issue. I was cheering for the Steelers the first half, and then the second half I switched to cheering for the Packers, and the Packers won, and my dad didn't talk to me for a week.
Yeah, he didn't talk to you, but he probably touched you for that whole week.
All over.
Oh!
He hid in my closet every night that week.
God damn. He fucking cracked that thing open, and it's like, I'm watching you, boy.
Boy, you better be dreaming of Aaron Rodgers.
God damn.
Oh, God, that got real dark real quick. But yeah, we talked about Darrelle Revis. We talked about Joe Thomas. Let's talk about Rondé Barber a little bit more.
Absolute winner. He wasn't, the best corner at, of his time, but he was good. And, I mean, he played on the Super Bowl winning team in Tampa Bay in 2002, I believe. So, I mean... He has enough...
Bro, they did not win in 2002.
Yeah, I would... With John Gruden and Warren Sapp. I do believe. It is...
2003.
Alright, so I'm a year off. Thank you.
Dude, I knew it wasn't 2002, because 2002 is the Brady's first chip.
I was close enough. Brady's in the back of my mind.
Or no, he lost to the Rams the first time. Because Kurt Warner beat him, and he considers Kurt Warner to be the greatest quarterback of all time.
Well, you know what?
Because if you say Eli in front of him, he'll cry.
Yeah, because he was one win away from a perfect season. And Don Shula's fucking proud that he fucking lost. I mean, you gotta pop that champagne with the 1972 Dolphins.
So, but we're talking about Rondé. I think he was one of the most dominant cornerbacks. I mean, I just want to pull up his stats real quick. I mean, come on. Are you shitting me? I gotta go to ESPN again.
Suck it.
So, over 1,000 tackles, 16 forced fumbles, 47 interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, he's good. And I mean, that's the issue with me. Corner's a little bit harder to judge for, how great of a player it was. And I mean, Rondé Barber is absolutely deserving of it. I mean, he waited, I don't know, like 10 years.
205 punt deflections.
Pass deflections.
Oh, shit.
If he deflected 205 punts...
I was about to be like, no way, that's insane.
Dude, he would literally block every punt, essentially, at that point. And also, look, to stay with the Bucks his whole career, I have to give him
From
props
90,
for that.
Yeah, I mean, look at Jameis Winston. He stays with the Bucks.
Even on the wrong team, he stays with the Bucks.
Really, really. But, I mean, honestly, Rondé Barber, comparatively, he's definitely one of the top cornerbacks to ever play. Yeah. Especially when you're talking about it. I'm trying to find his average passer rating allowed.
I don't even think they'll probably have that at that time.
Probably not.
I don't think the passer rating was...
For the cornerbacks wasn't around then.
Yeah, I don't think they really had like those stats. But I mean, still, Rondé Barber, absolutely deserving of it. Great player. All congratulations to him.
Yeah, congrats, Rondé Barber. Do you think we'll ever see Tiki Barber get up there with him?
No. I don't. I don't think he was good enough as a running back. He was a good running back, just not a great running back to deserve anything. I mean, was he on the Super Bowl winning team with the Giants too?
I think so.
ESPN again.
Yeah, ESPN again. So, I mean, he averaged 4.7 over his career for over 10,000 yards and 55 touchdowns.
The touchdowns is the only thing I really see as a big limiting factor. You weren't really a scorer.
Yeah. But his career was much shorter than his brother's.
Yeah.
And he stayed with New York the whole time.
What did he get that Super Bowl win? What year was the Super Bowl? 2000? No, I don't think he would have done it.
I thought it was 06.
Is it 06? I really
no,
feel
it wasn't. He
didn't.
didn't.
It's like 07 or 08.
It was 07.
Yeah. See, so he's a year out. So see, I don't think he has the whatever the
accolades.
The accolades to do. Yeah, I don't think he has those to warrant being in the Hall of Fame. At least in this time. I mean, he might be one of those older guys who's been sitting there for 20 years. Finally get a chance to do it.
Yeah. Possibly, but I mean, I think if anything, they're just going to do the brother thing because the NFL loves their brothers. Dalvin and James, Trayvon and Steph.
The Watt and Watt.
Watt and Watt and Watt. It's like fucking Pac-Man. Watt.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, you got cousins between Bradley and Nick Chubb.
That's, yeah,
I mean, but honestly,
you have Clay Matthews and his daddy playing, and there's just a whole bunch of shit like that.
Yeah, there's so many different players that have like their brothers on a team, and it's just the Kelsey brothers. How do we not mention them out of all of them?
Yeah, it's okay. They'll fight at home later. Don't worry, guys.
Dude, Jason Kelsey probably fucking wipes his ass with Travis. Do you realize the size comparison of them?
They're fair. They're decently sized.
Yeah, but Jason's got that.
Yeah, Jason's bigger. Yeah, I fully agree. Who's another loser you got?
Darren Woodson.
That name is catching me off guard. Real
Cowboys. Bad. Linebacker for the Cowboys, I believe. or safety for the Cowboys back in the 90s.
Ooh. Yeah, this one caught me off guard. I can't really speak too much on him.
Yeah, he did not make it. I'm just going to pull up his stats for you real quick so you can kind of see. I hate using PFF. I just hate the website.
LOL, and I'm fucking premium user.
Oh, they don't even have his stats on ESPN. Okay, so as a safety, he played 178 games with 23 interceptions, 271 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So I could see why he definitely didn't make it in over Rondé Barber.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he has a lot of statistics to help back him up.
Well, he forced 12 fumbles over his career. I wouldn't say that here's the difference. He played a lot shorter of a season, and he was injured as well a little bit in there. But he didn't play nearly as long as Rondé. But if you look at him compared to Rondé, it's obvious. But at the same time, he was one of the most dominant players on that Cowboys 90s era.
Because that was when the boys were the boys.
Yeah.
And honestly, I might go home and tell my dad about this boy because my dad's a die-hard Cowboys fan. He didn't hear me say this, but fuck the Cowboys though.
Yeah, fuck the Cowboys.
God damn.
So another loser that I have is actually a receiver from the Colts, and I'm pretty sure he played during the Peyton Manning era. Yeah,
he played.
He was during the Manning era.
He also had Marvin Harrison for a little bit.
Yeah.
So Reggie Wayne is our man. He very much, I believe, got snubbed on this. He was never the best wide receiver, I guess we could say, but he was always there and knew where to be. And
well, from 2004 to 2010, he had over 1,000 receiving yards, and then 2011 he had just under, and then 2012 he has another 1,300 receiving yards, and all along he totals up with 82 tutties. It's just insanity. I don't know why he's not in the Hall of Fame. I think he would have been better than who was the wide receiver that made it in. Was there one?
I don't think a wide receiver made it in this year. I would hate if a wide receiver did make it in because that would just be really undeserving. God, Reggie Wayne was just a great player. No, there wasn't a wide receiver. You might be thinking of the Bengals corner.
Yeah,
who was a former quarterback, wide receiver, or something like that. That's the only guy I could think of.
Ken Riley?
Yeah, because he came out of Florida A&M as a quarterback, but they weren't going to let him play quarterback. We're not going to get into those reasons, but
Well, let's look at this. I want to see Ken Riley versus Woodson's stats.
And see, that's another really hard thing. We're comparing completely different eras.
Yeah, true.
He's from the 60s when the
Woodson?
the Ken Riley.
Oh, yeah.
He played in the 60s and early 70s, and the forward pass was just now in its infancy of actual scheming to pass.
Yeah.
So it's hard to do this while having your middle prime, growing NFL in the modern age. And this would be a recommendation I would really like to see. But see if the Pro Football Hall of Fame would actually do 3 separate inductions for players, because we can battle and debate all we want, but it's hard to compare each player from 1978 versus 2021, and we're he absolutely fucking blew people away, but then we're well, over here J.J. Watt had a 19.5 sack season, and they're oh yeah, we didn't track those yet, so it's hard to just judge.
Well, we do have his sacks from the Pro Football I'm looking at Joe Klecko right now, the other nose tackle, defensive tackle from the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 Jets players made it in. Say what you want, Darrelle Revis was definitely needed to make it in. I don't think Joe Klecko really makes the cut. I mean, 78 sacks over his career. Where's his tackles?
I don't even track that shit yet.
Wow.
I mean, look.
No forced fumbles, no interceptions, no yards. Yeah, they didn't even track his tackles. Holy crap.
I mean, he was dominant for his time. There's not much you can really do here. This is kind of...
1981, 20 and a half sacks.
20 and a half sacks?
With 2 fumble recoveries.
Homeboy, yeah, you're fine. You'll make it into the Hall of Fame just because he probably broke the record that year.
I think that was the record before...
Michael Strahan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I can justify letting him be in the Hall of Fame for holding a record for, 40 years or something? I mean...
It's close to it, yeah.
I mean, I'll do it. It might not, be the best. I mean, 20 sacks, that makes up a quarter of his lifetime sacks.
Yeah.
Which, I'm not going to say he was bad. If you're dominant, you're dominant. Let's just give credit on that.
Yeah, I mean, he won the Defensive Player of the Year that season. So, I mean, we're obviously going to see a lot of people who won that award multiple times because in years recent, if you win it once, you probably win it again.
Yeah.
At least in the past, 20, 30 years,
For sure. I mean, it's just people are more consistent. There isn't as much inconsistency because, play styles are pretty similar. They're more athletic. In my opinion, I mean, back in his time, he was 260 and 6'3". I highly doubt he's going to be outrunning Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
And, having the skill set like that.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to hit on for this Hall of Fame episode, man?
You have any other winners or losers you want to talk about?
I completely missed Zach Thomas.
Zachary Thomas.
I'm pretty sure he was on the Cowboys as well.
Zachary Thomas is I feel Dolphins.
Oh, he was the
Dolphins and Cowboys. Primarily Dolphins, though.
Okay, so I wasn't too far off.
No, you weren't too far off.
Cool.
I will say something. In Madden, this motherfucker was nasty. Nasty. Let me just speak upon that real quick.
And this was beginning of Madden.
Bro, they even had the when it was Madden 25 to celebrate 25 years of Madden. They did the all Madden team. I think Zach Thomas was on there. Mm-hmm. Absolute dog.
Yeah, but I'm looking at his stats right now. He had 4 seasons of 100 or more tackles. His rookie season, he had 120 solo tackles, 154 combined, 2 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries on 2 forced fumbles, and a touchdown return.
Yeah.
Plus, the thing that really makes him dominant, 3 interceptions. If you tally it up, his career, in Miami, he played 168 games, 17 interceptions, 4 touchdowns off of, 16 forced fumbles, 7 fumble recoveries. It's just insane. And then on top of that, he had almost 20 sacks with them.
Yeah, I mean, Zach Thomas was a real dominant linebacker for the time. He was that prototypical, actually a little not prototypical, actually, because he was 5'11", undersized for the position. Very. But he played it like a mean-ass goddamn bulldog.
I mean, he won Defensive Rookie of the Year, and then 2 years later, Defensive Player of the Year, and went All-Pro, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times? And Pro Bowl, 8?
Yeah, I mean,
7?
We can't argue. He's so well deserving of this. There's not much we can really say except he deserved it and he balled out during his time.
Yeah, honestly, as a middle linebacker, I think he did great. And then, even in his final season in Dallas, he started 14 games. He had 3 pass deflections. You know, he had a fumble recovery and another sack. And that's like towards the end of a 12-year career as a middle linebacker. And going back to what you said, he's not your prototypical. He's 5'11", 230. He's smaller than your average linebacker.
He would almost, you could say he's, set the stage for these smaller linebackers that we have now.
Yeah, definitely.
A prototypical linebacker during his time was, probably 6'3", 250, 260. A guy who can't run and stretch across the field, but is a downhill rusher, essentially.
Well, during this time period, it was a lot more... Well, I mean, he ended the season in 2008, so he was definitely right in there in that transition to...
Yeah, that transition
fast,
period. But,
your James Harrison, Ryan Shazier...
Yeah, but those guys are still, still kind of looked down, not known, because we're still in that time where, like, with Trent Simpson out of Clemson, we don't know what he's going to be. He's what we call a tweener. You're going to be a edge rusher, maybe. You're going to be a linebacker.
It's like Jeremy Chin.
Jeremy Chin. Or Justin Simmons from last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Those guys, we don't know where you play, but you're versatile. And he was a versatile. He could play any of those linebacker spots. He was just a menace over the middle of the field.
Yeah. Honestly, Zach Thomas was one of those guys that I saw play late, and, I didn't watch Miami a whole lot, but he always caused problems.
Yeah.
And my favorite part about football is seeing a defensive player just make the offense look like idiots.
That's always a fun thing to do, yeah.
You got anything else for him,
I do want to comment on Jared Allen not making it in. Just me being biased, I think Jared Allen was a very dominant player. He didn't set anything or have any of those bigger achievements, but he was just an overall great defensive lineman who I hope to see make it in sooner than later. Andre Johnson, what the fuck are you guys doing? Dog, just please let him get in soon.
I think, what's his face? I'm losing him. I was just looking. Jesus, what was the... Reggie Wayne. I think Reggie Wayne is more deserving to get in there before him. Just because, you know how, you're a fan of it, I'm a fan of it. I like when a player stays with their team.
Yeah.
And if you stay with a team, even when they're bad, even when they're good, that's what truly makes you a good player and a dominant player.
I agree with that. It's just with Andre Johnson, he had Matt Schaub as his quarterback. He never had a good quarterback in comparison. I understand. I just would like to see him get in the next few years because he's a very well-deserving wide receiver.
Yeah.
And then my final take, Patrick Willis. The most goddamn dominant middle linebacker. And he retired early, and he has... Oh my god, that pisses me off. But y'all tell me what y'all think about